Moving on, Agriculture Cabinet Secretary Peter Munya has admitted there was a slow response by the ministry in controlling the desert locust invasion, despite an early warning issued mid-last year by the United Nations Food and Agriculture Organization. Munya told Parliament that the ministry is using a multi-agency approach to eradicate and kill the swarms by June. The Cabinet Secretary said the government was facing a nightmare in importing effective locust control pesticides, which are stringently sourced from Australia and Japan.
Kenya is facing the worst desert locust invasion in 70 years. The locust swarms crossed the Ethiopia-Somalia border into Kenya in the last week of December last year. The locusts have rapidly spread to 18 counties, almost half of the country's 47 counties. The senators observed that the locust invasion was a threat to food security and that the ministry was ill-prepared to handle the invasions. Munya told senators that the ministry has procured 28,000 litres of controlled pesticides and distributed them for use in the affected areas.
I admit there was some slowness in taking action in good time.
The desert locusts have had a field day in Kenya due to limited technical capacity among extension service providers. There is also inadequate personnel and equipment for ground control, inadequate aircraft for aerial sprays, and inadequate funding for the upkeep and field stipend for the trained NYS servicemen during the control activity.
Part of the challenge is the problem of availability of chemicals, especially the very effective one called phenyltrovion, 96% ULV. That is the most effective control chemical. That is not available in Kenya. It is largely available in Japan and Australia. And getting this chemical here has been a nightmare.
So far, the ministry has deployed 5 aircrafts for spraying and 4 for surveillance.
When it comes to aircraft, there were 7, they've increased to 20, then NYS is being trained. It is like these consultants are there and all that. It is like a windfall in this ministry.
We have had about 37 swarms. Some of them have been sprayed. I thank your efforts because you've been there to Samburu, you've deployed some NYS. But more than 24 are still alive and ravaging environment, ravaging pasture and also farms.
I've looked carefully to see whether in your team there's a public health officer, because of the effects that may come after we have dealt with the menace. Then there are other health hazards that will arise as a result of this spraying.
Chemicals we are used are tested and approved internationally. And FAO approves what chemicals we can use in killing pests. And they are usually tested to kill the targeted organisms.
The Egyptians didn't have a strategy. Their only strategy was that God will blow the wind away from them and the locusts to disappear. And that seems to be a strategy, Buenos Aires. You have a lot of tactics, but you don't have a strategy.
We don't have a plague here of locusts, no. The FAO has classified this as an upsurge.
The ministry is sourcing 400,000 litres of pesticides for both aerial and ground spraying. It also plans to increase the spray aircrafts to 20. In collaboration with development partners, 10 of the aircrafts will be used for spraying and 10 for surveillance.